Welcome to Greenforest National Park, a hidden gem nestled deep within the wilderness. Brace yourself for a breathtaking escape as you explore the diverse landscapes that define this natural wonder. From majestic mountains to the ancient serenity of old-growth forests, Greenforest National Park offers a tapestry of untamed beauty and rare wildlife. As stewards of the lands, we are committed to animal conservation. In addition to elk, bison, and brown bears, the park is home to the critically endangered alpine crested wolf. If you are lucky enough to see one of these magnificent creatures, remember to appreciate them from afar. Very, very afar. Embark on an unforgettable journey along the park's captivating backpacking trails. Go kayaking and end your day with a meal in the town of Elk Wing, where warm hospitality and delicious local cuisine await you. Unleash your spirit of adventure.
Park 7:05 a.m. to 9 p.m. National Park Service denies liability for injuries, fatal, animal encounters, or unexplained disappearances. Do not provoke the wildlife.
Hello, and welcome to our actual play of Bitemarks, a collaborative role-playing game following the adventures of a werewolf pack as they try to solve a dark mystery. My name is Al, my pronouns are they, them, and I will be serving as Master of Ceremonies for tonight's episode. First order of business, Lunar Pulse is a supernatural thriller. The tone for this is serious but tropey, and it's rated R for horror movie-style gore. If that's not for you, please navigate to the Neon Lights YouTube channel where you can enjoy a library of less lycanthropic actual plays. This game is intense. It has a lot of narrative bleed. You may see some sort of PvP elements. Our players they may seem like they're arguing or getting intense with each other, but know that they are in character. We're all friends. And safety tools are in place. We're using the X card. So if ever there's something that feels uncomfortable or weird, or you just need to pump the brakes, just pop up the X card or make this sign, and we will pause and walk it back and find a way to make it different for you and check in. And at the end, we're going to be doing an aftercare to make sure everybody's feeling okay. So it's time for introductions. In the order I call you, please introduce yourself and who you will be playing tonight, including your character's role in our pack. So I'd like to start with the absolute legend, Sonar.
Hello, my name is Kellen, also known as Fade. My pronouns are she, they. I will be playing our pack, Hollis, who also uses she, they. Hollis is kind of like newer spiritualish / shamanic sort of dealy bob going on right now. So try to figure things out.
Fabulous.
Dealy Bob. That's my favorite.
A dealy bob indeed.
Dealy bob.
All right, next but not least, our one and only Foxy, who also is the host of Neon Lights RP in general. Thank you for having us, Foxy.
A mountain trembles, a shadow creeps, a forest breaks open, and from its gushing throat a river is born. And in that chaos, in that nature, is one Zinktwame. Hi, friends. It's Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as Fox Philly's Finest, and I am back playing Yesaya. Woe betide you for thousand-pierced walks amongst these woods. I am of the pack's Great Pelt, the oldest amongst the litter, who has seen the world when it was young and walked this path of ours, this world of teeth and claw for longer than most. And that makes me qualified to be an asshole to these people sometimes, which is fun. I have missed this game so much, and the people around me even more more so. I am so glad Al chose to bring this place, to bring this story to life, and that you all decided to add your unique stories to it. And so I will shut the hell up and let more of it happen. So carry on.
Okay, thanks, Foxy. Next we have the one and only Rainy.
Hi everyone, I'm Rainy, or Rainy Keys. My operational pronouns are she, they, and tonight I'll be playing Molly O'Connor, the Pack's prodigal, operating under the pronouns of she, her. Molly, as I said, is a prodigal, came back for better or for worse, as I always like to say, and has found out many interesting things along the way today. Just living her best life.
Trying to deal with a bunch of chaos and chaotic people.
She
Speaking
only
of dealing
came
with
back
chaos,
4 days ago, everybody. 4
It
days!
really been? Oh my god.
It's been a hell of a homecoming, that's for
Welcome.
sure.
Welcome
Literally.
back.
God, has our game only been taking place over 4 wild days?
Yes.
4 or 5 days, yeah.
4 or 5,
we're-
yeah.
We're at half a Hanukkah.
What a tiring week. We're half a Hanukkah indeed. All right, last but not least, speaking of Hanukkah, Cal. How are you?
What?
Make the transition and go.
Hi
Let's get
everybody.
the curse.
My name's Mikey Fatum. Sometimes go by Mike too. I am playing Cal, the trying his best alpha to this wonderful group of little freaks. And last we left off, I was naked. I may still be naked, just for your mental imaginings.
I mean, to be fair,
Thank
honestly,
you.
like at this point, probably most of us are naked because we've shifted back and forth
So
in
many
wolf
times.
form. So
Yeah.
I just realized
But-
that I forgot to wear my flannel today, and
Oh, no.
and Rainy is wearing a very similar thing, so it looks like Molly is just wearing Cal's clothes now. But anyway,
I
the
stole it.
story, the fan fiction. Oh my goodness.
I
Beautiful.
stole it.
So our story thus far, long, a little complicated. So I'm going to go ahead and give a brief recap, which is our pack, the Greenforest pack, have discovered a series of mysterious sort of supernatural deaths on their pack property in a national park that they live on. It's gory, it's weird. They've encountered some sort of almost doppelganger-like beast. That was last episode, and things are windmilling into an out-of-control territory very quickly. Last session, there was a hell of a lot of fighting. You defeated a bunch of these sort of mimic-like creatures. You were betrayed by Priya, but not Priya, which was a pain point. Cal choked up, understandable under the pressure, and had the world's most hardcore pep talk from Isaiah. Miriam and Hollis connected over not Priya's betrayal. And yeah, that's sort of the gist of it. Our scene is going to open up where we left off, which is, is it morning or evening? I think it was even early morning when we left off at the Firewatch Tower, where the park ranger who time traveled, got to mention that one, originally was found. So dawn is beginning to break, and the mountains are absolutely gorgeous. Nature continues as it do, despite all of the battles and chaos that you just experienced. Birds are chirping, everybody seems happy. That's an animal and not you guys. And the watchtower is quiet in the morning mist. The scene is yours.
so I think Cal, having put on some pants he found, is going to, he had that big dramatic I want this thing dead last night, and he's still holding on to it. So he's going to gather everybody up and just kind of be like, all right, we need to share up everything we found and everything that we know about this thing so that we can track it and we can kill it. I'm opening the floor. What do we know?
We know that Priya was not Priya, and she might not have been since the thing.
Mhm. So we
We
know
know that they're connected. We know that they're connected to the others. Just from that smell.
they can take a shape and hold it for a long time. Know that they can apparently take any of our shapes. Which
At least
means
some
we
of
may
the
need
memories.
a mess with their memories. Yeah. We may need a way to signal each other that we are really us. Molly, how would you do that?
Oh man. Shit.
And their smell is
Well,
wrong.
Well, yes, their smell is wrong, but
And that
Priya's
appears to be
wasn't.
all we. Suppose that's fair.
Not until she got hurt. I mean,
Actu-
we could do, we could pull a John Carpenter and cut ourselves a little bit, I guess.
I was going to say,
That
and set
doesn't seem
ourselves
like
on fire.
Oh, this is so hardcore.
Hey, she's
Also,
just
like,
We could
she's
pull a
trying
John.
to think,
Girls.
okay?
We could pull a
I
Team
love
Fortress
gotta
2
go
and
the thing.
flamethrower everyone as they enter the room, see what happens.
Sorry, I'm so sorry for interrupting this beautiful roleplay.
That's okay.
I mean,
But-
yeah, but that's the thing though, is until we cut it or we cut ourselves, we're not gonna know the sun. Priya was able to masquerade with us for quite a while.
Then we operate
Several
on that
hours.
principle. Whenever one of us disappears from another one's sight, if you see one of us, you are to bite your hand, present your blood. It's not as if we can't heal from something that simple.
All right. So we've officially entered creepy horror movie things to do. I like it. It's good
We
thoughts.
weren't there already.
Oh, it's way past that, Cal.
I know,
you know
but we
we're
have
way
to do
past
the
that.
we're in a creepy horror movie, but now we are doing the creepy horror movie things. Is what I'm saying.
Well,
So, we can track it by the smell. Obviously, creepy horror movie. We don't want to split up and look for the smell. So I'm going to suggest that we form a search pattern, all four of us, and traverse the area until we pick it up, and then we track it slow and careful till we can find the source of these things and remove it from the planet.
I don't disagree.
And have additional thoughts on how to approach this?
It's a hunt. Treat it like any other. We have a target, one we don't know the whereabouts or true identity of, but we are aware of, bare minimum, some of their capabilities. And second, their overall operational area. We draw them out, bait them, surround and wait, silently. And when they present their throat, we tear it out.
All right. Molly Hollis? I said your names together too fast, but do you have any thoughts?
whatever it is dangerous. We need to be careful. I
All right.
still don't know what I saw exactly when I, tried to do my thing with the catfish, but at this point, I think we can assume all of this is stemming from the same thing.
We also know what it
Maybe
did when you began to use your unique abilities. It lashed out. Whatever you can know from this thing, it does not want you to. That is useful information.
But that also leaves the rest of you that it could potentially take the spiritual route to hurt. I think I might be a little bit more attuned to it, but you all exist in that realm too. We need to be really careful with how we approach this.
We need to
I
be
don't want to lose
reliant
any
on
more
you.
people.
And also protect you.
We need to be careful.
Mal speaks true. Any objections?
None.
How does Molly feel?
How does Molly feel? She doesn't like this at all. This is...
Understandable.
She just doesn't like this. Baseline. She can't fight these kinds of wars, and if we all just take a minute anyways for Molly, she never felt right as a part of this pack, and even coming back as a prodigal, it's still slotting in right back where she started. But she's just sitting
It's
there
a lot to
observing.
ask.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's fallen
Intense.
back to old habits, which is sit back and observe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Molly.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about the previous pack that you were temporarily sort of sheltered with before that really became extremely toxic and bad,
Yeah.
when you reflect on that and then your whirlwind of this, the misfortune that's fallen upon the pack you're with now, what do you make of all of this? Is it like a blur in your head? Is there a narrative in Molly's mind? Like, what is she telling herself? What's the story she's telling herself?
Well, the story she's telling herself is first things first. At the very least, baseline. It's nice to know that the Greenforest pack doesn't corner each other like a pack of hungry coyotes and just start going at each other's throats first. They're trying to be logical about it, about what they can and know, and but it just feels odd still. Like they're working together in tandem, whereas the old pack, that pack literally ripped itself apart for not even half of a problem they faced. Is what, or at least, if you ask Molly, honestly, Greenforest is staring down the barrel of a double shotgun. The pack that she had previously been sheltered with, if you want to call it that, ripped themselves apart almost over something as tiny as a pistol.
Oh, I see the analogy. So Cal, oh, state of the pack.
Oh, yeah, we gotta roll that.
Yeah. Forgot, but
For
then I
once.
remembered.
Oh my god. Now the bottom half of my character sheet is missing. Oh, there it is. Okay,
For
good.
one, it was.
Can you
Okay,
tell us about
heart.
State of the Pack? How
I
that
sure
works?
can. So at the beginning of every session, I roll heart, and if I get a 10 plus, it's harder for everyone to disobey me. If I get a 7 and 9, it's easier for one person to disobey me and harder for a different person to disobey me. And if I get a 0 to 6, Al has the choice of whether to have somebody break a tradition or disobey my orders. So let's get that roll in.
Yay.
I'm just going to pull up a dice roller on Google rather than try the one in the Discord. Right. Well, that is an 8. Thankfully, I'm very good at heart.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you'd
How good
have
are you
pretty
at heart?
+2.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I think after our last conversation, Yesaya gets +1 to disobey me.
We're giving you the power to the old man again.
I know. And I think I'm gonna give Hollis the -1 because Cal in his mind would be like, Hollis is the linchpin of this plan. I need them, on board.
Sure. All right. Make a note of that. Thank you. Good to have. So it sounds like what I'm hearing is everyone's sort of thinking about a hunt, about maybe trying to lure this or these enemies in some way, get more data, try and lure them in and trap them, and then ambush them. Is that sort of the okay? Got it.
Yep. We're gonna
Effectively,
head
yep.
to the last place we think we could pick up the trail and sort of start hunting them instead of them hunting us.
Okay.
There's another option we also have if we wish to draw them out.
Okay.
Think of it. The creatures who have been infected so far, the packmates who have gone wild, all of their infections and ailments, our encounter with those strange beasts, they're all tied to one central point of power. The Simpaula could be using it as a fuel for its foul magics. Lake.
Ugh.
Gross.
We're
Back to the lake.
at a little bit of a disadvantage if we're trying to fight in water, but if we can draw them out of the lake and towards us, that's a good idea.
We've positioned ourselves around it. Use the shadows. Hide yourselves. Isaiah cracks a really awkward. It's not a smile, because he's not good at those. But there's a strange lilt to his lip, and he just kind of tilts his head a bit. And how long it's been since I've hunted with all of you? Don't tell me you've all forgotten the basics.
All right. So to the lake shore, where we find a place.
Mike,
where
check
we
your
killed one of
DMs.
these- Oh, okay. Find a place where we killed one of these things and see what happens.
Can we go back to
Mike, the player,
or-
did forget about this. Those are the originals or the? Oh, we don't know. Okay. All right. So we also have Priya and Darius that are asleep somewhere in the woods.
Oh shit, that's right.
Mike has
Is
forgotten.
this the first time
entirely.
you've mentioned that to them?
Would be the first time that
Is this
that
the first
Cal
time?
has
Oh,
mentioned-
I'm
yes.
sorry.
Yeah.
Someone. Sorry, it's been so many
We
weeks.
knew it out
Someone
of
quickly
character,
remind me
but
of
I
what
didn't
I've
know if we
forgotten.
were going
It's all good. It's all good. It's all
We
good.
all
Sure,
knew
sure.
out of character, but the characters didn't know. This is your
That's
first
okay.
time dropping this info on our
Mike
butts.
himself has forgotten what this all is about.
Yeah,
I'm
Mike
so
is
Totally
not alone
fine.
in that, Kellenol.
Do you want to rewind just a little bit and then have Cal
Yes.
decide how or if? Okay, whoop, rewound. So you say how things turn out one way or the other.
Sure. I still don't know what I'm talking about though.
That's
I think
now you
two
can
people
say
in town?
how.
Yeah, I think what's important about that out of character is that if we know there is a Darius and a Priya asleep somewhere in the woods, in a similar manner to the way this time locked ranger is, which is another point we can connect there, and we also know that we've killed not Darius, unless there are multiple not Dariuses out there, we can probably rule that the one sleeping is maybe the real one.
Yes,
So, like,
all of that
that
sounds
might be a
great.
relevant point to mention. And
The-
then
the-
I figure, you know,
the
connecting that with
the problem isn't
Same with Priya.
actually any of that. The problem is I, Mike, don't remember finding a sleeping Darius and Priya in the woods. I don't know when that happened.
That was
Oh,
2
oh.
episodes ago. 2 episodes ago. Mhm.
In your defense, it has literally been months. So
Yeah.
I'll recap it for
Mhm.
you.
Thank you.
This was, God, you
I
poor
know.
thing. Okay, so no blame for this. This was a snapshot. But what happened was, this is when you had to go for a session. And so then when you came back, you were investigating a smell and you didn't want to alert the others or have any of our more impulsive pack mates do anything rash. You wanted to go check it out. So you went doubled back, like back down by the lake, and you encountered the two. This is meta to everybody else we know, but you found the two sleeping wolf form Darius and Priya covered in dust together, sleeping on a cliff.
Right,
And that
that's
was
when the big guy attacked me. Okay.
Mhm.
Or threatened me and I ran the hell away. Okay, all right.
Yes,
It's all coming
yeah.
back to
And
me
he
now.
was just like, "I'm coming for your blood,"
And I was
and
like,
that's how that
see ya,
happened.
bitch.
That's like,
All right, so
fuck this shit, I'm out.
okay. So yeah, winding back, Cal will say, right before I encountered, we need a name for these things, but right before I encountered whatever the hell that was, I found what looked like Priya and Darius sleeping in the woods. That's one of the reasons why I came back so quick, because I knew Priya was with you and I didn't know whether I'd found the real or fake one. If they're still there, and since that was clearly some kind of trap, we might be able to pick up a lead there as well, instead of just going right to the lake and flicking our tails and hoping something pops up.
I agree. And failing that, if we can awaken them, and Yesaya looks over at, is the corpse of not Darius still around, or have we like just is it like decomposed by now? What's the
Just-
wording on
ditched
that?
it. It became goo. They all became goo.
Hmm.
They all
Uh,
became goo.
Good. Then Yesaya looks over at where not Darius's goo pile was, assuming that, given that that thing assumed its form, we might assume that
Man, that
whatever
is a
thing is
sentence.
sleeping, we might assume that whatever is sleeping is perhaps our actual accomplice.
However, falling on horror movie logic, you never know, and never assume until you see it bleed.
Both of those problems are solved by returning to their bodies or their sleeping forms.
I'm glad we had all of those Halloween watch sessions. It's really prepared us for this.
It's canon.
Yeah.
Airbud.
All
It
right.
was the only reason why Molly stayed through Halloween. She dipped around.
All right, I will lead you all to where I found them. Wow, I said
Easily
that
done.
really yazzy.
He actually does chuckle
Well-
a bit at that.
It's a serious matter. Question for you. Do you keep the sleeping ranger? Do you kind of set her up at the watchtower or do you take her with? What's up
I
with
would have
that?
taken her back up into basically where she was.
She was safe in the tower before. She'll stay
She was
safe in the
undisturbed
tower
for
now.
80 plus years.
Yep.
So
I mean,
Sure,
I was going
we'll
to
come
say, if you
back
thought
to
that
the
helping her
tower
body come back through would be.
eventually.
I'm reaching out. Sorry.
I was going to say, if you thought taking her body would be helpful for perhaps comparing to whatever's happened to Darius and Priya, then we could put her on my back. But I think leaving her in the tower is also a perfectly fine plan. So let's go with that.
either way,
Wait,
it might
Yesaya.
not be the best idea to be
hey,
dragging
question,
around some dead weight.
DM,
So.
or game runner.
Did you almost call me general? I love it.
I almost called you general. This is awful.
Excuse me,
I'm
Commandant.
terrible.
The new gender neutral honorific.
I
General.
love it.
Excuse me, general.
What was your question?
Hey, so our friend that's been sleeping, do I notice anything like powdery or scaly on her?
Yeah, you do. You're so smart.
Thank you. Molly
I'm
just
so proud of you.
quiet, just taking a pinky, just gently swipes some off of the tip of the sleeping ranger's nose, and just takes a look at it.
It matches.
Cool, because then she just pulls out her little sandwich baggie that was gifted to her and just swipes it on the inside. Same shit.
And Yesaya, you still have some. I think you still have some of this dust swiped on some body part. I think it touched your nose and wolf form, but
the schnoot.
that's kind of a funny mental image.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I think it did give you some dust.
Yeah, he has to kind of scale, kind of bring a nail up and scale the inside of his the upper side of his nose a bit, and just we encountered something in the caverns, something perhaps older than even me, a creature of this land, natural but touching the beyond, and whatever this powdery substance is, it could produce it at will. It could also psychically perceive my thoughts.
See.
Wouldn't be beyond the reason of scope to say that this could perhaps knock people out for eternity and preserve them.
To what end?
Miriam lets out a giant skeptical cackle. Listen to yourselves. This is ridiculous.
He turns around
Miriam.
and looks at her. I am 300 years old. Is anything really that ridiculous?
I mean,
You're
we're
the most
werewolves.
ridiculous thing I know. But she says it with a gentle tone. There's a flirty tone to it that was repressed
Al
before.
in the background. I mean, we are werewolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're werewolves fighting goo monsters. I mean, at this point.
Miriam, after presenting that one point of sassy skepticism, will go silent again and cross her arms over her chest and just listen.
Love her. I love her so much.
She's so great.
She's a bit.
She's so great. I love her.
I like how you guys went from "she's such a bitch" to being like, "I like
Oh, no,
her."
she's still a
and-
bitch.
I mean,
No,
she's
we
still a
agree.
bitch, but
Appreciate
she's
her.
a likable
To be
bitch.
clear, in
Yeah.
character, we hated her. We always loved her in reality.
I've always
is
loved her
true.
both ways. Thank you very much. Anyway,
Oh,
That's
both?
because
But
she's
you
your
exist.
mate. Back off, old man.
all right, runts, on your feet. We've a hunt to accomplish, and an imposter to kill.
And who died and made you alpha? Because I'm pretty sure that one's still kicking.
And you were already given an order. Thus, on your feet.
Cal pats Yaz on the head, and then says,
leaning up.
"Whether it's his right to say it or not, he is right. Let's fucking go." And
you
Cal will
do.
shift into wolf form to lead us to the bodies he found.
Easily done. You return back. You can even follow the crashed trees of the
Oh, have we
pursuit.
been eared?
No, I just turned into wolf form,
No.
and I have literally
Okay,
been
cool.
saving
All
you
right.
since Thanksgiving.
Oh, actually,
Hell
since Foxy mentioned the accursed thing, haha, you've been eared, fool.
Damn it. All right, fine.
Oh. Foxy your time.
This
There we
is on
go.
forever. All right, cool. Can't be watched anyway.
Very fetching.
Very in character. Bows and all.
How many of us had wolf ears on hand? That's amazing.
Excuse me, these are fox ears, sir. Secondly, this is the neon lights
Not-
gag. I
I was
birthed
like-
this gag. Thank you.
I just went to Great Wolf Lodge and was given wolf ears and said, "I know
Oh
where
my
I'm using
gosh,
these next."
I've been wanting to go
Nice.
there forever. I'll save that for cute,
Yeah.
for talk.
That's so cute. All right. You guys ready?
It's okay.
So you all-
This.
Sorry, yeah, please.
You
go
all
ahead,
head
please.
back following the trail of destruction. You can all see where Cal, you can even smell the remnants of where Cal was booking it. And you can see the trees have been shredded apart by the knot that was following him. And you make your way back up to that little cliff where all of the ground and dust is torn up by giant paws. And sure enough, the two lumps, the two big slumped form of wolves covered in this strange dust are exactly where you left them.
All right. So you said. All right. So you said you found a creature that produces this dust.
Indeed.
Think. So, Molly, Hollis, is it safe? Do you think to just get the dust off them and see if that wakes them up?
Well, I would assume so, but I don't know if that would necessarily work. Carrying that quite a while, so might be a little bit tricky to get all the dust off, but can only try.
How far are we from the from our cabin?
From the watchtower?
Yeah, no,
Mm.
from our main place, because I don't think
From
the
the main
watchtower has
place?
The lodge.
the lodge.
lodge.
Thank you.
Oh, the lodge
We're
is going to
across the
be
lake from it.
quite a hoof, and
Okay.
also across the lake.
A part of the day and everything, all
Mhm.
that jazz.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can go. You're not
I was
locked
just
away,
thinking if
but
we
it'll
had easy
be.
access to a leaf blower, solve the problem quickly. I didn't see one in the tower, did I?
It was
I don't
80s
think-
years
well,
old.
Yeah.
Leaf blowers at that time did not exist the way
I
we
don't
know
think there's
them
a
to
leaf
be.
blower. There might be
Okay.
a rake, perhaps. Like
That's not gonna work with
Um,
dust on somebody's body to
I
rake
don't
them.
think so.
it's great.
I mean, we are also big bag wolves, so
Gonna
could
huff
just
and
huff and
puff.
puff.
and
Yeah,
swirl.
exactly.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
Fox got it. Fox
Or
got it.
Molly just starts pulling out dry rags from
Oh, there
the
you go.
medkit bag.
Okay, all right. How's about we
Again,
consider this instead?
Yeah.
I think while Molly goes for that, Yesaya will just like again using the bit of dust he scraped from his nose, go over to Hollis and just we are already aware something about this is supernatural. You spent any time analyzing this?
I mean, aside from looking at it, not. I mean, cursory glance, yes.
Oh, I'm gonna be
Examining
sweet.
it,
Fuck it.
not
Yesaya's
really.
gonna, in the middle of you talking, reach up, cup like the bottom of your face, and then close your eyes, and then tap your forehead. See without looking. You may find more.
Okay. I'm just like total shut down for a second.
I'm having a granddad moment. Don't mind me.
Yeah, Hollow. Yeah.
Are you, Hollis? Tell me what you want to do. Don't worry about what to roll. Just tell me like what you're gonna do, and we'll figure out the logistics of it in a minute.
Uh,
Sneeze it back in his face. Meditate.
so
Lick it.
Sniff the powder.
Get back in his face would be hilarious. Because if I remember right, I know a hot minute, but if I that not Priya or the not Yesaya didn't see one of them.
Oh, can you repeat
Not
that
me,
one more
couldn't
time?
see me.
Not
Did not see-
Yasea couldn't see. Because
Yeah, not me, couldn't see me.
It was sniffy.
Yeah. Yes.
It was all olfactory.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's
And also,
okay.
Cal, in a moment, I'll also say this because I just rewatched the scene to refresh your memory. It also practically stepped over them without seeming to see them, the knot areas. It focused on
Right.
you.
Okay. So it's possible earlier when you were fighting the creature and had the ranger with you, did it seem to see the ranger or go after the ranger in any way?
Sorry, pardon me. Go ahead.
Oh, good. No, it ignored her for the most part. Also, sorry if my mic's breaking up. I just closed another thing to try to hopefully smooth out my bandwidth. So
It does appear to be smoothing out by the second, so I think you're doing
Yeah.
you're doing it. You're killing it.
You're doing your
Doing
best.
the Lord's
okay.
work.
Yeah. I was overloading my laptop just a little
You
bit.
got it.
That's
okay.
why.
That'll
Happens to
do
the best
it.
of
Solved
us.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. Um. Yeah. So what Hollis is gonna do is, with that in mind, she is gonna close her eyes and she is going to focus on scent and see if there's a specific scent coming of the powder on, you say, his finger, or Darius and Priya, or on any of us that spend a lot of time or in direct contact with the winged.
Yeah. You close your eyes, you concentrate on scent, and it's only when you concentrate you notice the absence of it. Like, who notices the absence of scent? It's like when you drink water, you don't even think about it. But now that you're concentrating, it becomes really clear that there just isn't really much of a smell. And even earlier, swinging it back around to when Cal kind of investigated them, they did not have an oil smell on them whatsoever. They were also pretty neutral. This stuff is
Strange.
this stuff is probably some kind of magic. Like, this is some stuff that is
Yeah.
it depends.
That's-
Whatever our definition of magic may be, this is definitely yeah.
It's
That
everything
has been my
natural.
hypothesis, pretty much. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything natural
Yeah.
leaves us some form of scent. Like everything in nature has a scent. It is. It's the most basic form of sense that sense that it has on the mark of the world.
What kind of
That
metal
answers
for
my
the-
question, though.
Why would it put the... Well, if the creature you encounter put them to sleep, the ranger just... Why?
Perhaps the Rangers aren't as connected as we want them to believe. The only connectivity is in their sleep, they were overlooked because of the absence of scent.
Did the creature, you said you spoke to it psychically, did it seem menacing in any way? Maybe it was putting things to sleep to protect them from the knots.
Completely docile. It made no gesture to
Terrifying.
harm either of us. If
It was
anything, it appears it
terrifying.
uses it defensively.
Mhm.
Mayhap
Those...
its ability is being usurped by something else.
Maybe. What we know is
Victor-
that this creature, or with this powder, not only knocks things out, but it seems to protect them from the knots. So, either the creature is actively protecting people and not understanding that it's putting them to sleep for thousands of years, or it is doing that and is understanding that, or it, as you said, someone is usurping its power, but is doing so to protect everyone else.
Or, fourth option,
Mhm.
it's using it to make sure that it can take over a pack without too much notice and qualms and problems.
Do you think the creature is allied with the ooze, the nuts?
No. Gods no.
Okay, re-explain.
It's
please.
convenience.
What Yaz just said.
This thing is not of this world. Its presence is foul. Its very essence rots at the natural. Whatever we encountered down there is old. Anything old enough encounters the unnatural. I can testify to that. This thing, it is clearly using its ability to shield things from not just physical attack, but from aging, from supernatural incursion. It's a defense mechanism. It does it to hide things, maybe perhaps even to save them.
That's
The creature
what
we
I would say.
encountered and the thing hunting us are two separate things. Perhaps, as we go and hunt after whatever thing we are hunting, may also be whatever thing this creature was hiding from. Something unnaturally foul. Thus, when the creature finds something it believes it is threatened by, whether it be us or it puts them in stasis, like what could have happened to Darius and Priya here. However, our target is capable of bending flesh, creating foul filigree of reality. What better way to reveal itself amongst our own ranks than to take one who has already been put to stasis and mock its form? The creature
All
made a
right.
mockery of me. Mayhap it knew I went down in the cavern. Mayhap it thought I would have been put to sleep by that creature, and you all would have been easy prey.
Understood. All right. So, either way, it sounds like we need to go back and talk to this. Okay, we're calling the goo things the nuts. That came to
I've
me from the word of
noticed.
God, and I like it very much. We're gonna have to call the other creature something, so we don't just keep saying the creature and the other creature. So the
Butterfly
nuts,
man.
The protector.
butterfly man, sure,
It's
great.
literally what it was. The butterfly
It's
man.
what Tickle's
Rainbow
decided.
to call it.
Do we really? How do you feel about his little Urban Dictionary nickname for it? Do we love it?
Molly
I was thinking
Molly
dust
hates
devil,
using-
but
to know it's not a devil. It's a
I like Hollis's option.
The protector.
protector. All right,
The
let's do it.
protector.
They're gonna point that way because you're that way to me on stream.
So, really quick before we move on though, Jim, could I potentially use Harness the Wolf to see or to try to investigate around Darius area and see how long they might have been asleep? If there are
Sure.
any signs of like new plant growth or anything like that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. You can actually do that without rolling, I would say. Just paint us a picture of it. Paint us a cool, shot. What does the audience see? And I'll tell you what you see.
Well, as in like what Hollis is doing, or what do you mean exactly?
Yeah!
Sorry.
Just a cinematic. Just a little, and then maybe whatever Hollis is thinking in their head, maybe.
Okay.
Like, what do they make of all of this data? Like, hearing about Yesaya and Cal and, I almost said Rainey, Molly's opinions and insights. Like, what does Hollis think? Do you think this could be connected to the spirit realm in any way, or what do you think?
Yeah. pretty solidly. It definitely seems like something that is more connected to the spirit kind of side of things, just because magic shenanigans a little bit. Even if it's protecting them, like it still put a park ranger to sleep for 80 years and has perfectly preserved them in the state that they were in when they went to sleep. And yeah, I don't know. It's it's hitting me as a player as very kind of like one of those neutral sort of nature spirits, a little bit, where it doesn't necessarily mean harm, but it'll do what it can to protect its home. So we don't know if it's good or bad that all of these people have been put to sleep at the moment, especially since there were doppelgangers running around. So Hollis is gonna just take a second and just kind of circle Darius and Priya and just kind of run her hand along kind of like top of their heads, see how much of the dust is there, or if there are any other crushed plant marking.
Yeah. The camera follows Hollis's hand, fingernails still crusted with blood, as they run their hand, and the fur feels, it's nice, it's warm, it's familiar. You can feel them softly kind of breathing, just like they're sleeping. The dust, when you pull away your hand, is thick and sort of, it's iridescent when you move your hand, and it's not obnoxious in the way that glitter is, but it is present as like a soft sheen on your hand. And you can see sort of around where they are. The most remarkable thing is not that there's any extra plant growth, but just how still it is when you interact with them. It's almost like interacting with a painting or like a moment in time. Like you're touching it, they're there, but it's like, yeah. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of.
So it doesn't seem like they've been there very.
Well, you don't see footprints around them outside of the stillness of where they exist. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like, well, you see the chaos of where Cal and the Knot had their encounter around. Like,
Right.
The ground is all churned up, but there's no, like, paw prints. No peaceful paw prints or anything. They're just sort of there.
Right. They're just
Almost like they
frozen
appeared
tableau.
there.
Interesting.
Also, it's worth noting they're facing the sunrise as the sun is coming up, and it's quite a beautiful view up here on this sort of space on the cliff. It's really picturesque.
What direction was the ranger facing when we found her?
Well, she was in the watchtower, but she also was facing east.
That is far too specific to be coincidence. So, well, the protector definitely this with ill will anything. We can assume for now the dust mass descent safe. Honestly, I don't how we about waking them up.
If you don't think it's safe, let's not do it.
Well, that's the thing. No. I mean, I suppose I could try thing.
So my personal
Most
hesitation is I don't want them to, die from waking up.
True. Most of my abilities are so. Any of your guesses are as good as mine. Wait.
Great. Molly,
isn't
anything
true.
medical? Nope.
You feel the presence of the beyond closer than any of us. Impulses, instincts you feel. That is an ancestor calling to you. An impulse calls to you. Follow it. Nothing can fault you for that. Sometimes you have to believe simply in what you feel, as opposed to what you know.
let's try that then. How do you feel? Molly? Yes?
Personally, I don't think we should be waking these two up none too soon.
Okay.
The knot
Please elaborate.
can't smell them. Means we don't have to be worrying our asses off trying to keep ourselves safe, plus these two. On top of that, and Molly hikes a thumb over to Miriam, if my theory's right, and these knots have taken over what is a facsimile of the Spine Mountain Pack, Miriam's the only one who's been scot-free so far because Miriam left months ago. Ain't that right?
It's right, and so are you. We shouldn't wake them. They would only be a hindrance.
Man, I like Molly's reasoning better. Okay. Then why don't we? Because just because the knots can't smell them doesn't mean anything else in these woods can't. Let's drag him up to the tower, and then let's go to your cave and talk to your new friend, this protector guy, and see what he says.
Oh, unsure if we'll find them again. We've found them by luck. The caves are, as we all know, are a network in and of themselves that not even like regular human spelunkers have traversed through. That one's probably found even tunnels that not even we
We have a
our
howl.
squishiness can squish
Does
through.
he have a smell?
We have a howl. We can call them. There are languages older than any human tongue. Ways in which we can speak to a creature's essence. We have the means to do so. We will go to the caves. We will call. And it will come.
I like the confidence. Sorry, Hollis, we didn't quite hear that. Could you say it again?
I'm just saying, they made a connection too. So
That's very true.
you have two things working in our favor.
My confidence is not in my own belief. And he turns to Hollis. It is in your ability.
Remember when he used to be an asshole? Man, I'm glad that shifted. All right.
Miriam
This
barks
is the
out a
third
laugh.
compliment I've heard him give. This is the third compliment I've heard him give.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
95%.
growth. I'm celebrating growth.
You know what? I am concerned. If we had not heard that there was a not him already destroyed, I was be.
Miriam laughs and then reaches out to you, Yesaya, and holds your hand.
Oh,
No.
that's very sweet. Now I'm concerned you're a knot.
Gross.
It takes a long moment, and he kind of spends that looking away from you all. Can you not smell it? Feel it on the caress against your skins. There is a wind-like change blowing through this wood. All of us must grow to it. Even me. And I think at that point he takes her hand and starts kind of walking.
Well, damn, I love that.
And philosophical too again. Ugh, disgusting.
Cal is going to throw an arm around Molly and Yaz and Hollis, if he could reach all three of them and pull them into a giant group hug and just be like, "Look, we're all growing. Feel the growth, Molly. Feel it."
Oh God.
Why am I in the middle of this again?
All right, we're not there yet.
Calvin,
you're the
let me
shortest
go.
All right. So,
was
what
a big group of
thought
nerds.
to? Were you going to relocate Priya and Darius, or were you going to let them? Were you going to leave them?
My thought was move them to the tower.
Tower's still covered in the stuff, so it's not like we're gonna risk waking them, putting them in there, and plus keeping all three in the same like non-detect zone, just as safe as leaving them in the both.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Easily enough done. The funny thing about the situation is when you heft them up onto you, they definitely leave like dust in your wake, and you do get coated in some of the dust because it's like picking up, it's like picking up a
glitter.
duster that was used. Yeah, a little bit.
It's volcanic ash.
Even better.
Essentially. It's butterfly scales.
Yes.
It will be left behind.
It is like butterfly scales. Yep. Yeah. All right then. Easily
the
enough
fighters.
done. You do head back. It's a quieter walk. It's a quieter walk heading back to the Firewatch Tower. The lake is beautiful and so quiet and so peaceful in the morning light, and it's just a moment of flawless nature. And it's interesting sometimes how we can have the most disastrous things happen in our lives, the worst days we know, the most chaotic or violent ones. And then if you slow down and look, the earth keeps spinning, nature abides.
Man, I wish we had time to just enjoy this. Which way is the cave?
We will when it's over.
So, speaking of caves, let's go ahead and take our break.
What does that have to do with a cave?
Fucking
Because we rest in a
segues.
cave.
Random
I'm
segue
turning
again.
to my
Hanukkah.
cave during the break.
Thank you for coming, everybody. We're going to break for between 5 to 7 minutes to do our thing. You should do that and then come back and see us back in a little bit. Thank you. Here on Neon Lights. Welcome back to Bitemarks, our actual play about werewolves trying to solve a dark mystery. So, hopping right back in, our pack is currently at the watchtower. You've put, I guess maybe on the porch, the two sleeping wolves, and Isabel, the park ranger, is also asleep inside. So you have consolidated your sleepers, so to speak. And now, with them all in one place, it sounds like you have a vision of going to the caves, or was that the thought, returning to the cave?
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
See if we
Head back
can
to the cave,
re-find
see
us a
what we can
friend.
find.
Mhm.
Sure.
See if they can't potentially help us figure some stuff out.
Would be nice.
All right. Sounds good.
No.
Yeah, Molly and Yesaya are able to lead you back to where they had gone to get the chunks of amethyst. And there is absolutely no cave system here.
I fucking hate magic shit.
Everything is a
There are
test, a sign, or a
footprints.
challenge.
There are the footprints that you two left behind, though, which is part of the way that you can confirm. There's even the hill sort of area that you had ducked down into, just no entrance.
Huh.
This music is pretty.
Yeah, it is.
Then we call them from here, perhaps.
All right. Well,
Well,
You
we
spoke
can
to
knock
it?
on the door. We should down.
Let us at least do this reverently. And Yesaya will, kind of get a bit low. And Molly, you still have some dust on you, yes?
Tons. You guys are
Well,
dusty.
We
yeah,
all
I
have some
sandwich
dust on
bags
us.
in me.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Then Yesaya will I guess like take off his shirt deliberately and like take two like handfuls of it and first go like down his cheeks and then like across his chest and then like around his stomach and swirl.
Amazing.
And he will kind of just like step forward, and it's difficult for a creature of his size to do anything like the word placate implies, but he will like, kind of deliberately come as low as he can on both knees, plant his hands low, and I guess sort of like internally think to himself, just like, I don't think there's a word specifically that like he's offering, but I think the feeling is that he's very much opening himself and implying that if somebody else can feel that call, that the other end of that pull he felt, to kind of usher it forward if it wishes to. It's not calling to it. It's just sort of saying that I am here, and if you wish to speak to me again, you will find solace here.
An
Hollis.
invitation.
So you all, Yesaya steps forward, and does this, and you can see that he's really focused, and you can see he's really focused in this almost prayer-like way. And Hollis, as you watch him step forward and kneel, I guess, and sort of sit and contemplate whatever he may be thinking, first of all, I wanted to ask our Grey Pelt, you have a move called Wise Counsel that if you give advice, if the packmate acts on it, they can get a +1 to any one related roll, and you can take a tie on them. I just wanted to remind you that exists, and also give you the opportunity, if you wanted, you gave Wise Counsel with that scene where you put the sparkle on Hollis's face and then advised them. So if you wanted, I would let you retroactively do that if you wish, but you don't have to.
Yeah, no, I am totally fine with that. Absolutely, no question. Yeah, sure.
All right, then take a tie on our one and only Hollis. Hollis, you get a +1 to acting on any sort of spiritual related role, which is great because as you were standing there staring at Yesaya, your intuition speaks to you. So as a howl, the way that your spirituality and supernatural powers have always manifested ever since they came upon you was through consumption, whether it be eating a piece of flesh, even just a bit of hair, anything like that. You've always needed to take inside of your body on a very primal level an element of what you're trying to access. And as you're watching Yesaya sit, meditative, it occurs to you, this powder is something you can consume.
It is. I think I'll do is my braid and I just squeeze it out, see if there's powder.
Mm-hmm.
Lick it
Yep,
off.
it just poofed. You lick it on your palm. Okay. So
It's like pixie
here's
dust.
what happens. It is, and it tastes like nothing. But yes, so
good.
Yesaya, you sit and you meditate. And initially, and for now, you don't feel that same energy. You don't recognize the presence of that little creature that you bonded with. But there is a certain grace and stillness to reflecting, reconnecting with that spirituality. And even if you're not the one who's feeling what I'm about to describe, you gave counsel as a good Grey Pelt should, if that makes sense, right? There are some things beyond you, but the one thing you can do is bring out the grace and strength in others. And you're really filling into that role, Yesaya is. So, all that said, you all watch as Hollis lifts up their hand and then just takes a big sudden lick of it. And Hollis, that's when it happens. The world changes immediately. So fast, so easy. It's the easiest time you've ever had accessing the spiritual realm. The world is crystalline and beautiful, like almost like wire glittering around you. You can see the distant, low opacity shapes of your comrades in slow motion as they move around you. You can see the structure, the geometric structure that is Yesaya with his head bent. You can see a short form that's presumably Miriam stalking impatiently around. And you can see everything. It's incredible. This is the kind of stuff that people do drugs to try and get to. And you feel completely in control. You feel completely in control.
A line of powder.
You did. And you feel completely in control of it. And the world is yours.
Do I see an entrance to the cave?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I will head inside.
All right. All of you see Hollis do that thing where suddenly they are going full on, like, possession mode, like their eyes glowing and they're very still. And Hollis, you, in your incorporeal form, walk forward through the mesh glittering matrix that is the entrance, the secret and hidden entrance to this cave. And the cave is beautiful and it's brightly lit. It's easy to see every nook and cranny. This cave is not dark. This cave is not difficult to see. You know everything about this, and you know exactly where to go. You head in deep, and you come upon a little clearing, as it were, a little vestibule in the cave, if that's the right word, and you know what to do. You go in, and you sit, and you wait. With your eyes closed, your body touching everything. You can do anything. With a wave of your hand, you can reconstruct reality. You know this. In a little bit, as you wait, you feel it come to you. And it is as was described before. It is a gossamer, delicate little creature, so fine and soft that even breathing on it too hard seems like it would destroy it. It's very precious. And it comes to you in all of its alien little strangeness, and it sits right before you and mimics your posture and crosses its many legs and sits and gazes calmly up at you. It's a very serene presence.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
This is how you see everything? Done?
It tilts its head at you like it doesn't quite understand the question.
Not as important. My friends visited. I was hoping, at least in the man.
Can you speak up a wee bit?
Oh, sorry. I was hoping you could help us a little, at least in the form of some answers.
It looks at you for a long minute with a sort of serene blink, and says, "My power is limited, but I will try."
The people that you've protected, were they in danger before, and you acted to help them, or did the danger come after?
Which people?
Well, the other werewolf.
It waves its hand, and it puts one of its tiny hands on the back of yours. And it is the most delicate, soft little touch of fingers ever. And you can feel every itty bitty little fingertip as it rests it there. And it waves its little hand in the middle of this cave. And on the wall, you see, almost projected, if you will, figures. Hundreds of them. In wireframe detail, but detail nevertheless. You see figures in garments that you've never seen before, the kind of things that you would see in history books. You see figures with antlers. You see figures with tails and ears like werewolves. You see stag people with human bodies and centaurs. You see a park ranger's silhouette with that familiar hat. You see a baby in a crib. You see a young woman in a river, asleep. You see Priya and Darius, presumably. And you see more people in these flashes than you would ever expect. It does that, and then it looks at you. Who? Which ones?
You said they were just flashes. Last very long? Or kind of like...
Oh, one more time. Technology is making our lives difficult. Sorry.
Sorry, no worries. You said they were just flashes of the images, or are they like lining the cave walls?
They're on the cave walls. The visual that our beautiful movie is showing us is it's kind of like a projection, right? Like artsy and beautiful, but it's like you're watching a movie, kind of. And
Yeah.
interestingly
Okay.
enough, if you have a curiosity about something, perhaps your eye catches on the centaur-like being, because that's interesting. If you look at it, it pauses, and it's almost like your interest made it pause. And you can look at it more closely. You can zoom in with your eyes with nothing more than willpower, and you can see more details.
Ooh. Well, as tempting as that is, I am gonna focus on Darius and Priya.
You point them out, and the little protector notices them and zooms them in. What do you want to know? They're safe now.
Our off. We know. Thank you. There are corruptions in the woods and in the mountains that has been killing members of our pack across. Was the danger already here, and that's why you put them to sleep?
To some degree, there's always been danger. To you and your kind. I used to be much stronger than this. I was beautiful once. To look upon me, you would weep. But
Still
my
beautiful.
powers... When you say that, it stops talking and preens. And it looks genuinely pleased. But not really in a vain way, but more in like a, oh, thank you. And it taps the back of your hand. It's still been resting its little thin hand, and it pats you like, oh, thank you. But I was truly magnificent once. There is a blight. There is something. I don't have the words for it. All I can do now is hide. And I can give the hiding to those who need it. It is needed more than ever now, I think.
Seems that way.
Do you need hiding? Do you need to
Funnily
sleep?
enough, no. I think it would be I think it would be best if I stayed awake to help my pack. And funnily enough, I think you've already helped us in hiding. Just from encounters with sleeping ones that we have found.
It interlaces your fingers together and just holds your hand a little bit.
Hollis feels like a child. She knows she is so much bigger than Protector, but just that little makes them feel like a little kid. don't really know where to go from here.
You could stay with me.
Thank you.
It looks at you and it says, you could stay with me. I could change you if you want. You wouldn't have to deal with everything out there. We could hide together. You're different. You would survive. Say yes.
It's a very tempting.
And it sort of turns and looks at you and holds your hand in both of its. Stay with me. You're the first one that's been able to speak with me in so long. You found me when I hid. I'm lonely.
Uh-oh.
I know that. But I have my path to help. Look, I can come back and visit. Stay. If you let me go, I will never.
It lets go of your hand. And its wings droop. And it looks at the cave wall with all of the sparkling images. And its eyes seem very old and tired. Of course you can go. But I don't know what I can do for you. If you want for me to wake them, I can. That is within my power. And it gestures towards Priya and Darius and then pauses and looks at you like, do you want me to lift the spell?
Once we have dealt with. Then I would ask to wake. For now, though, I think too much. They might be addicted. And I'll also pause and then take off the little amethyst that they always. And yeah, it could be on the astral project.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Over
absolutely.
To the. This is my promise. When with whatever the.
Oh, can you repeat just that last part? The camera is against us again.
God dang it.
The camera, like.
This will be my promise that I will visit. Once we have dealt with whatever these not creatures are, I will gladly visit.
It lifts up the amethyst in its hands, examines it for a minute, and then politely places it down, like kind of like accepting the gift. It always goes back to the lake. There is one thing that I do know that I can tell you. This blight, this thing that I hate and that hates me, it's hunting for me, you know. But I'm more clever than it, and I'm still stronger, for now. It landed in the water. It came from the sky one night, and then it paints its hand, and you see a meteor crashing through the sky and landing in the lake in an explosive splash. This is how it came. From the sky, and it landed there in the lake. And that's when it all began. This only
The
happened
others
before
not gonna
once.
It's happened before.
Yes.
How long ago? If I haven't asked too much of you, or
The thing waves its hand, and you see Yesaya, still head bent in prayer, and says, he might know. His ancestors witnessed it. He's young, though. But it was his people, long time ago. They saw it, the same thing. I was young then. These things happen. You will survive or you will die. That is the way of things. I hope you live. I think you're special. No one's been able to stay here with me this long. It sighs wistfully at you.
thank you.
Hollis, you feel something cold on your nose, trickling out of your nostrils. Something wet and cold. Back in the clearing, Hollis is bleeding from their nose and eyes.
Anybody got any towels? Any everything we can shove up there?
Do nothing.
What?
They're fine.
Yeah, they look pretty fucking far from fine.
Bleeding from pretty much almost every available hole ain't fine.
They are pushing their abilities to their limit. They will come back. If you must, call to them. They will listen.
So back in the spiritual realm, you feel an urgent tugging. The power that you feel is still there. The temptation to remain in a place where you feel godlike is naturally there for anybody. But your physical body is waning. Your ability to withstand what's happening is waning.
I feel like faintly in the distance, there's Molly's voice just like coming back from the physical realm of, hey, Hollis, hun, I cannot fix bleeding to death. Please come back. I do not have transfusions on hand for you. I cannot fix severe blood loss.
Your voice literally does echo into the spirit realm. Absolutely. So Hollis, the creature sighs at you, and it reaches up and touches beneath your nose. The blood is gone. You cannot come back here. I will not let you. This is the last time that we will speak. I cannot bear to look upon you if I cannot have you forever. It is too painful, and I am too greedy. But you may go. And you can wake the sleepers when you are ready. You already have it in you. Now go. I can't bear to look at you anymore. And it turns away from you, like hanging its head. Before I change my mind.
And just not super fast. The Hollis will retreat.
All right. Hollis, you come back to...
So dark.
I know, you had a breakup. Like, you return, and suddenly you're back in your body. And Molly, you got your hands on their head. You're checking all this stuff, and right before your very eyes, the blood has clotted and is no longer dripping. The eyes are clearing, and the breathing is becoming even as Hollis comes back to reality. Don't say it, Al. Don't say it.
Whoop.
Oh, there goes gravity. Okay, we're done. Came out of me. Okay,
Anyways.
just to shake that mood.
That scene was awesome, though.
I just feel like Molly has like Hollis's like face in her hand. And she's like, "Good, you're back. Never fucking do that again." Pat, pat.
Cal is standing behind with like a bunch of paper towels that he took out of Molly's bag to like mop
Calvin,
up the
put
blood
those
that we all
back.
just watched disappear.
Calvin, put those back.
I don't have a long name for you if you call me Calvin. I guess I could call you Maul. I shorten his to Yaz when he calls me Calvin. I'm gonna call you Maul when you call me Calvin.
She might maul you back.
How are you feeling, Hollis?
Fine. That was
Well, I believe that about as far as I can throw it.
was something. They did confirm the lake that you know how I mentioned the thing earlier that might be a little bit more pertinent than any of us initially thought.
Oh god.
It's from a meteor. And the protector said, Isaiah, your people have witnessed it before. This kind of
turn
corruption.
to stare meaningfully at Miriam.
Probably before her time.
No. I just meant she thought this stuff was too crazy, and now we're dealing with fucking space aliens. Please continue.
Yeah, Miriam has the dial-up tone as her facial expression right now.
Oh.
An invader. And there are tales. When one ages as I do, you begin to hear voices blend together. Stories do the same thing after time. There are tales. You will need something older than me to recall them. Far older than me.
That's what they said too. They said that they were young when it first happened.
Oh boy. Do we know
But
anything older than the Protector? I know we don't know anything older than Yaz.
Sorry,
aside from the
aliens?
mountains themselves?
Miriam says suddenly.
Well, they didn't use the word aliens, but
Miriam's back online.
it apparently came from the sky on a meteor. So
That's
there's
an alien.
one of two things it could be. Yeah. So
There is many a quiet thing in the darkness between stars. Some of it may be malevolent. You must believe many things are possible in a long life.
I want that on a t-shirt. All of that. There are many things to stars through. You must believe that in a long life. Yes.
fuck yeah.
Is it okay if I print
Foxy
something
with the
truly
bangers,
profound on a t-shirt?
Of course, that would explain the whole flesh bendy shit, the whole oil unnatural smell. Why? This lake is fucking cursed.
Nuke it from orbit.
Cursed!
The only way to be sure.
Fucking cursed.
Pertinent question. What does it change?
You know that algae?
Oh,
Elaborate.
That algae don't. To put it in to put it in the best terms that I can go without going on to a whole entire biological, ecological spiel that I've gone into while researching shit for my show. Algae doesn't glow like that. Not even in the ocean. There are certain time frames and waves for bioluminescent algae, sure, but keyword but, it follows a cycle. That lake has had the most consistent weird form of bioluminescent algae recorded here in the history of this park. It's the reason why people come to the lake at Spy Mountain.
so you're telling me that all this time, this algae that I thought was totally normal was actually weird alien shit?
More or less, the introduction of the meteorite could have changed the ecological variables within the lake. It's probably why the catfish was so goddamn huge. It's space stuff, as the Earth is made of space stuff, and as every single viable building block that we are all made of is space stuff.
You didn't answer the question, Molly.
No,
What?
that was a good answer. I'm just wondering if the algae is gonna rise up and try to kill us.
Not
And
on
if
a
it does,
Then we need to invest in a flamethrower? Do you want to bite an algae to death?
algae
if the
does
algae
not.
rises, we slay it. If the problem is in the lake, we remove it. Nothing changes because of this. Our plan is still the same.
We can't survive that deep of a dive.
Then we bring it up to us.
All right. Well,
We-
it's a good plan.
We need to find the meteor.
There are places I can research, places I can go, legends I can delve into. Time will be needed to do so. If our plan is to attack this thing immediately, then I don't have that much time. If we wish to gather more information, we would need to regroup.
I'm trying to think of ways to get the meteor out of there without us having to swim down to it. My first thought is dredge the lake, but
I saw some fishing stuff in the Firewatch Tower.
How far down is the meteor?
Probably the deepest.
Deepest point would have created what the lake structure is now if it's that old ago.
And the average lake in this part of the world can reach at depths of around. I'm gonna say that Yesaya would know the number and say it. I don't, because I don't know shit about lakes. But like,
Well, it depends
whatever
upon
Could be
the.
several
It depends
thousand
on the
feet.
lake.
Please do not nerve right at me right now. I do not give a fuck. So let's save that. You can just tell me what the average number I should be saying right now is, and we'll all just say Yesaya said that so we can keep the RP moving, because I prefer to just do that.
Yeah.
13
I don't know what the number.
13
meters.
I don't know what.
feet is the yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think so. What was that? 13 meters? You said?
So sorry, I just googled it, and the first response just has a. Oh wait, no, that's not just Pacific Northwest. This is not as useful.
Honestly,
So I'm gonna hop in. I'm gonna interject as the MC
Go
here
for
and
it.
say,
Thank
Please.
you.
I adore all of you for your curiosity. Don't worry
But
about
it's
it.
not useful.
Okay, because
Don't worry.
See,
We
the
just
funny thing
found-
is, because
It's
here's the
deep,
thing.
y'all.
Because the funny thing is, I mean, my answer wasn't gonna change. Whatever, like assuming the average depth of the lake is whatever. Yesaya's answer is, I can bring it up.
We can't send
What are
you
you
in
gonna do?
there
You're gonna go
alone.
super big and then swim down there and just toss it at the surface?
Yes, Calvin. I'm going to go super big, go down to the bottom, and toss it.
Okay. Have you ever dove like that in your big ass wolf form?
Close enough.
This isn't a
Oh,
good idea.
Agree
I'd
with
like.
Miriam.
I hate to say it, but I agree with her.
I also hate to say it, although I'm coming around to the idea. But I feel like we need to reconnoiter a little bit somehow. If we can find a depth camera or something like that.
a
Just
what?
because a camera that goes in the water and sinks deep and doesn't explode.
Huh.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, using modern technology, that's one of the advantages we do have over it. Maybe. I can't believe I'm entertaining this. An alien.
Well,
Interesting.
well, I can't
We
say
could go to the
seen
Spine
her.
Mountain Pack camp. They have the RV park. We could head over there and see what Ezra's got squirreled away. It would be faster than
know-
going into town.
Would also allow
you
me
guys
time to delve
have-
into whatever legends I could to see if there's other information we could find about this thing.
Do we know the
One
entire
advantage-
pack isn't infected?
One thing. So Yesaya is proposing looking into more of the lore.
Yeah, because I figured while you guys can do that, I can go be useful
Right.
elsewhere.
Yeah, no, I was asking in character as Calvin because suggesting going to talk to Ezra. Do we know the entire lake pack? Do we know they're not infected? Everyone we've encountered from that pack has been replaced. Except for
They're
you, Miriam,
probably
but you left.
infected. What about it? We've killed them before.
All right, just no. Wait, not all right. We don't need to expose ourselves to unnecessary danger.
Then I'll go in. I know my way around. It'll be fine. I'll see if I can get some of the
But-
stuff there. Who knows? There could be something useful.
You won't go
but
alone.
You were exiled.
All right. Well,
You said it yourself, Miriam. You were exiled. They won't welcome you back with open arms.
Then they will die for it.
oh Lord. All right, let's.
Wait,
Assuming
wait,
they're not
wait,
all dead
wait,
and replaced,
wait.
we don't need to open a pack
Wait.
war here. Sorry, Hollis, go ahead.
The detector said I could.
You believe you
I
can
could
cure
wake
them.
Darius. Somehow. They weren't specific on details, but if we woke them in a controlled area with enough time to let them process what might have been happening for however long they've been out, maybe they could help us.
See, that's
It
the
is not a
thing.
bad plan.
Make sure that Ezra stays off our backs until we can deal with it. 'Cause
Yeah.
if it's
Alright.
influencing him, then who knows what's going on in the Spine Mountain Pack.
Tertiary point. Hate to be the Debbie Downer of the group, but time kind of is something we do not have. As much as we like to play around, that we do.
All right. I appreciate all the suggestions. Here's the plan. We're gonna wake just Darius. Miriam and Darius are going to go into. If Darius agrees, Miriam and Darius are going to go to the pack with us shadowing behind. We won't invade their territory, obviously, unless Darius and Miriam are able to convince them to let us in. We'll go in, we'll find something to let us figure out and if there's any protections or defenses in the meteorite, or something to help us get down there and get it.
But I leave you all there and dig for lore in the process. Kill two birds in one stone.
I like it.
No,
That's
I
pretty good,
don't.
Wilsonstone.
Miriam comes over and glares. What do you mean, go?
You heard, Hollis. If there's anything to be known about what this thing is, it lies in legends older than even me. If there's something to be found there, There's only one person who can actually find it. I would be leaving you in your own capable hands. There's nothing I have seen in this world you cannot kill.
She goes very quiet and doesn't seem to have too much more to say. She doesn't look happy.
He is trying to say several things. It does not mean I will not worry for you. So be safe, please.
She gives you a cold shoulder. All right, let's wake up Darius.
I will find you in the morning.
Appreciate
So,
you helping out, Miriam.
question. Would you all like to pause here and wind down, or do you want to wake up Darius a little bit more?
Feel like
How are you feeling?
I feel like there's some lore drop to be had in Darius's wake up, and I feel like I don't want to
Yeah.
miss that, having already crammed in a lot of
Yeah.
lore tonight. That's my personal
Yeah.
take. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Cal, I want you to get the final here, scene-wise. How's Cal feeling about all this? There's a lot to take in. Your pack is all very calm. You have a plan to move forward and investigate. How's Cal feeling?
Cal is feeling out of his depth. He knows that people are looking to him, although it seems like Yaz is happy to step into that role as well. And he wants to make sure that he's protecting everyone and coming up with the best plan. But to be perfectly honest, his experience with fighting aliens comes from watching the movie Alien. Like, he doesn't, know what the fuck to do with this. So,
That's
so
Yeah.
he's, yeah.
Fabulous.
well, if
So
you don't mind,
the camera.
can I offer a bit of like a ping thought that Cal might have that might perhaps offer the slightest bit of solace?
Sure.
I feel like maybe Cal, you might, after being like, okay, I don't know what's happening here. Everyone's looking at me, like, yeah, it's stepping up, but like, sure, what's going on? I don't know what to do here. Having that moment of recognizing that, like, Yaz didn't just say, I'm gonna go off and do this while you all do that.
Yeah.
He asked you, do you think I should go and do this? For perhaps
Yeah.
one of the, like, you can count on a single number of hands in your life the amount of times Yesaya has looked at you and said, do you think I should do this?
Oh
He believes in
shit!
you.
He was
That's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah.
so in Yesaya's weird way. He was kind of asking for permission.
Yeah.
He is
Oh, shit.
and I think even more than that, he is in that deliberately saying, I trust your gut on this.
You are the alpha. I trust you.
Love it. Okay, so that is bumping him up a little bit then. Thinking about that. He's
Bitch, we out here granddaddy.
Yeah. Yeah, we bonded.
Peepaw.
So yeah, so that is buoyanting him a little bit. And honestly, as silly as it sounds, Cal is going through every Alien movie he's seen in his head and trying to remember what worked and what didn't, because what the hell, why not? We've got no other ground to stand on.
Aliens.
You work with the available data, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Prometheus.
Okay,
Attack
E.T.,
the block.
not relevant.
Okay,
E.T.
Attack the block. We should watch Attack the Block once it's done.
And in
This is a
Black,
good movie.
where am I gonna get a noisy cricket?
Nice. Man, that movie sucked. Anyway.
I'm sure Percy has a katana in his room somewhere.
Independence Day. Never mind. Not helping here.
Where am I
I
even
don't
going to
think we
get
have
Will
fighter
Smith at
jets.
such short notice?
Independence Day. Brief pause. Can Yaz fly? Never mind. We're not dealing with that right now.
If I threw Yaz, would he be able to take down an alien mothership?
Oh god.
Thankfully, we're not fighting an alien.
10
mothership.
Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, well, that we know of yet.
So, it seems like this might be a good time for us to curtain fall on this particular episode. Everybody, thank you for coming. Please stick around. We're going to be doing wrapping up aftercare and just yakking about what happened, because a lot happened.
Yeah.
So on that note, how's everybody feeling?
Woo!
Oh, cool!
We got a
Nice.
motherfucking symbiote up in this. We're gonna kill Venom. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, my brain defaulted to Cloverfield, and I really hope this isn't Cloverfield, because let me tell you, that's bigger than me. I might be big.
Joke's on you! I've never seen any alien movies, motherfucker.
That keeps you safe. Now you're immune because you haven't seen any alien movies.
Yeah,
That's
exactly
how that
it
works.
It's called media armor. There you go.
But if you see an alien movie,
Yeah.
in 7 days you die.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I have a
Molly
question.
somehow walks out of all of this meme.
You're the final girl.
no.
Do any of you
Yeah, the
have
final
any? Do any of you have any stars for roleplay moments that you thought were cool to give to anybody else? Like little highlights you noticed?
Hollis,
damn, I was gonna try and jump on the Hollis
again.
first.
Hollis,
Hollis,
7 times. Hollis the 15th time, 37th time, reloading the clip with another full round of Hollis and dropping the entire block with it. I love when properties like this delve into like the things that are just against the skein of reality, but beyond it. And I think that getting to play moments like that lets characters have so much, like there's so much room to play around there. And I think that you do this incredible bond between like delving fully into this incredibly unknown world while still remaining the incredibly human character you are and have been for the entirety of this production. Like you walk that line so well, and it's a treat to watch every time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Agreed.
I've been wanting to say this
Save
for
the
a
tears
while
for
now, so I'm
after.
glad I finally got to happen.
Oh wow.
I agree.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I also I mentioned this in Twitch chat, but I'm gonna throw a star at Al as well for role playing the ancient many-legged creature, and doing the whole somehow pulling the whole like sad eyes that have seen thousands of years thing. I don't know how you did that. It's awesome.
Absolutely, 100%. Reified, super reified.
Yeah, just love that whole like kind of Goblin King temptation sort of feel
Yeah.
that Finn had for sure. So
Yeah. I have more to say on that, but I want to make sure people have time to.
Oh boy.
Anybody
I
have
also
any
want to
apps?
throw a star. Yeah, I want to throw a star at Molly just because that was a really kind of sweet moment to see her geek out about like research. Like that was so cute and so sweet, and like
It is.
that's such a good illustration of her character too. It's like she puts on this kind of like unaffected but definitely affected sort of air about her pack and everything.
But she's a big
like,
fucking nerd. She has a podcast
Yeah.
about cryptid.
She's
true.
yeah,
got
and
a
she puts
giant
in the
heart that
time
she
and the
just
work
shoves in
to
a box.
research. Yeah, it was just,
One
it
thing
was
I
such
wish
a
I had
cute little
role-played
character snapshot.
A little more. One thing I agree. One thing I wish I had role-played more is Miriam really likes and identifies with Molly stuff. I briefly got to have her do. There was a lot of exciting main character dialogue, so I didn't want to that. But if I could interject, I can because we have the power of games. There would have been a moment when Miriam would be giving a look to Molly as Molly was doing her nerd calculations about, okay, how can we get modern technology here? Like the prodigal is such an interesting character because you've been away. Like Yaseya's idea of Vegeta-ing it to the bottom of a lake is dumb, and I adore him. But like he's super fucking yeah, that's right. You give those thumbs. Yasea also, to be clear, is also dumb powerful. But like, I love that Molly, as a Peepaw over there being like, I punch it harder. By the way, guys, that's something that Foxy started playing. He's like, play punch harder.
What if I just hit it really hard? Like that's like a default Foxy method of approaching any solution. Is what if I just hit it really fucking hard? Have you
Fucking
considered
hard.
that
What if
possibly?
no,
Like,
no,
what if,
harder than that. Hold on. The,
no,
the amount of hard you're
however
thinking,
hard
I'm
you're
gonna hit
thinking,
it
like
more
just
than that.
just increase that. What if I go 2 levels higher of hard than that hard? Do you think that and it just I appreciate I love having moments where like people are just like, hey buddy, no, that's just not what we're gonna do here. Like, and I
Like,
think,
buddy, we get it. You want to punch it. However, that is the most ineffective route about this.
it does, but it also does feed into like a thing I want to talk about, and I guess we mentioned this when we do like heartbeats and stuff. I'll talk about it more, but like it is playing a lot into a thing that I think Yesaya is like really introspecting on a lot right now, and like I think it's playing into the idea of like, maybe there are becoming different ways to handle these kind of things. Maybe the way you think about these problems is evolving past the way people like me think. And I think that's like it's doing a lot of things in his brain right now that we'll talk about later, both on and off the screen. No spoilers. Any case.
Gross.
Also, Foxy, to be clear, I love Yusei as a character, and I love the way that you play so self-aware.
I
He's
like
kidding.
Big Dumb Grandma.
He's ridiculous.
He's
but he's
great. I
kidding.
love him. I love him so much. He's so fun.
I like him
love
too.
being dumb.
I also support your shonen tag aspirations as well. Extent. That's why I let you hurt some shit, and other times there'll be the your other patriot being like, "Pa, I'm not going to punch the lake so hard. You could try again."
Grandma, you
But
cannot
I
punch
like
the
that
lake, please.
Yeah, no, huge. Oh, I have a star to give, which was to Mikey for that moment when you came up with that was awesome. Like, even there are moments when you're role playing that's really difficult to get in character. Like, if I get RPing a character that in that moment
Al, I am
be
so
more.
sorry. I'm picking up every third word that you're saying. It's cutting in and out.
Oh no!
Is it only for me,
Mike.
or is it happening for everybody
No,
else
it's,
too?
it's,
No,
it's
it
like
was
on and
happening for
off,
me too.
honestly, for
But-
me. I feel like I'm
but-
sure
Is this
Justin will
better?
fly.
The captions have
Yes.
full,
It actually is better.
full fiddling.
Oh, okay.
Full.
I will look at the captions.
Is this better?
This is also
Yes.
good. Podcast
Yeah,
it.
that sounds good.
Podcast
Yeah.
it like you're an award show.
Testing. A
You're
little better.
good. You're
Captions?
Little better.
You're
Lot
so
better.
good. You're so good. You're so good. You're killing it.
Thank you. I was just gushing with excitement and admiration for in those moments, like when you're role playing and it's difficult to get into character in a moment of tension or trying to make a big decision. Like, the alpha is the hardest playbook because you're going to be surrounded with opposition by default. And I warned you about this too at the beginning of the game. I love that you took it on. Thank you so much, because I really wanted an alpha.
You're welcome.
It's a very hard playbook. And I feel like as a role player and as an actor as well, like that's what role play is. I feel like you just nailed that moment. Like that moment of being like, guys, here's the plan. We're going to do this, this, and this. And that's how it's going to be. And even Yesaya was, instead of like going hardcore on his like, I'm going to leave like I did earlier. I'm going to do what I always do, which is withdraw so I can have control over an environment and do useful shit, but withdraw. Instead, he even kind of gave you what for him was like kind of a big deal, like that moment of like, unless you truly believe otherwise. That was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, gold fucking star for that. I really admire that. I wish I composed in moments of.
To tell you the absolute truth, I spend most of my life making plans that everyone ignores. So this game is so great for me. just being like, yeah, you have to listen.
Good. People should listen to you, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
But also, it shows that Cal's not going to easily give up the alpha seat, which is actually a highlighted thing about this game, by the way. So, like, sure, you have your insecurities about being a alpha, but you haven't given us any teeth, so to speak, in those insecurities to tear you down.
Well, I
Mhm.
appreciate that.
It's a free say.
I
I
have
did
no
also
idea
say
what
it's
you're
got a
talking
little
about.
ammo on that, but
I'm totally good. I have no intents on taking pack leadership from anybody ever at all. Nope. Good boy over here.
Yaz is too
Chilling.
old.
I'm chilling. I'm over here
he's
doing
like,
my
fuck
thing.
that.
I'm over here minding my fucking business. I got
Yaz's
time.
main commandment as an alpha would be, "I'm tired. Leave me alone."
Figure it out your fucking selves, you dumbass kids. Go away. I need to sleep.
Knock
You're not
before
like
you enter
yourself
my
when you're
cave, for fuck's
hangry.
sake.
New
Yeah.
pack New pack order. Get off my goddamn lawn. Stop coming in and out of this goddamn house.
Oh man.
Kellen, you and me had a cool roleplay moment.
Yeah.
How did you feel about meeting the protector?
Mothman.
And how
That
did
was
you
really
feel about
cool.
its How did you feel about its request that you stay?
Oh boy.
Did that surprise you? Because a lot of your theorizing earlier was that it was purely benevolent, right? How did you feel about the fact that it maybe wasn't that cut and dry?
Pretty surprised, honestly.
Yeah. Would you
Like,
have stayed
yeah,
with it if you didn't have obligations?
I don't know. Which is, I think, like, the coolest thing about that, actually, because, like, that is a very interesting proposition, especially because the Protector mentioned that it could change Hollis in some way without actually saying how. So there's like that, just like the mystery of the unknown and the pull of the unknown kind of there. But I think even if the pack wasn't in crisis right now, I don't know if Hollis would have taken that offer.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
because they do have an obligation to their pack, obviously, and they have found a place where they feel like they belong with the rest of pack. So it would have been an interesting thing if the surrounding context had been different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go in reverse order today while we check on heartbeats. So that means we're starting with Molly.
Aw.
Miss Molly, what are your heartbeats, please? And did you play to any of them?
Let's see. We've got distrustful, vital, and drowning.
I see a lot of ways.
The wonderful thing about Molly is I play all of her heartbeats all at the same time in the same damn episode. I think we've had the same conversation of like X, Y, and Z has happened at least several poignant points every time Molly spoke up in an episode.
Well, you can have one path of any of these events in your choosing. We have to pump the brakes or this game will be over in 30 seconds. So
I know, right?
which moment do you want to highlight?
I think let's do, honestly, I'll have to say the distrustful once again, because, I was pulling up a lot of like, hey, counterpoints, by the way, there is this other thing right here that we're kind of sidelining.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, that moment that kind of earlier on when we were digging into Molly's head as well, there was definitely distrust there. And this, Molly's been burnt, I think, a lot. Yeah. Trauma, it's the reason for the season.
Yeah. So obviously Molly was human form for all of this, so I get my human moon.
Human moon. That'll be the title of the next episode.
I'll be standing alone.
Have we done a Moon episode? I don't remember.
Not yet, no.
Oh, good.
That'll
should
be-
the
that'll
other
be the
finale.
first-
That
We're
should be
going
the
moon
finale.
phases, and
my
then
God.
we'll
Yeah.
link to colors of moons or other names for full moons. Anyways, I'll pass my turn over to whoever gets it next.
It's
Cal?
Mikey.
All right.
Mhm.
My heartbeats are. Let's see. Brain. I have controlled, steady, and protect. That doesn't sound right. No, that is right. Okay. Controlled, steady, and protective. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I had nicer ones, but I guess not. So yeah, controlled, steady, and protective. That's me. What do y'all think?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I would say yes.
I would say
I
protective.
could see multiple times.
all right. Well, then I will add another because I was also human this whole episode. Well, not the whole episode, but all I did in wolf form was run from one place to another. So I will add another dot to my human path.
Mm. One part I saw, since you were thinking about it, one part that I saw him be steady, that's fresh on the mind, is that part I gave a kind of old star for, where he basically said, because he basically nipped in the bud the inevitable running in circles and struggling to make up a plan. He basically said, guys, I got this. This is going to be our plan. That was very steady. That was like grounding for everybody.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was one moment.
Yeah.
There were a
pulling
lot of moments.
pulling
Thank you.
everybody's strings back in.
Yes.
Dance, my puppets.
Luckily, you're not that kind of alpha.
No.
Yeah, thank God.
All
Not
right,
like
beautiful.
Ezra.
All right. No comment. Okay, our Howl. What are your
Yes.
heartbeats, Howl?
My heartbeats are comforting, persuasive, and calculating.
Did you speak to any of them? Play to any of them today?
I would say
Persuasive.
comforting and persuasive, personally.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
persuaded the hell out of that ancient being from beyond time.
Yeah.
You did.
I mean,
Yeah.
they let me go, so that's definitely,
Mhm.
an important thing.
Even ancient critters believe in consent, and it was sad because you didn't want to take it up on its offer.
Sorry, buddy. I got things to do in
Yeah.
life.
At the end of the conversation, it pulls out 14 trilbies on each of its hand, just milady.
God.
Oh my, don't you
No!
dare. Oh, terrible.
No.
Which form were you in? Hollis, what
I
form
was
were you in when
human.
that happened? You were human? Okay,
Human
cool.
as well, the whole time. And also,
Perfect.
Miro decided to disappear the pen and tools, so what the hell?
Oh my gosh, no. Do you want me to color it in?
Whoa.
If you could, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's always so undignified drawing with a mouse. It
Right?
just sort of shakes everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, gorgeous. Okay, and then last but not least, our Grey Poet. What are your heartbeats,
As
my
me.
friend?
My heartbeats are experienced, scarred, and ending. Yeah, I mean, I feel like specifically my last heartbeat is when I think Yesaya is playing a lot towards these days. I think he's having a lot of a lot of thought around the ways in which, like I said, ways of thinking like his own are, becoming outdated. And I think he's thinking a lot about that lately. So I think I'm playing a lot towards my ending heartbeat. And I also spent all of today in Human Path.
Oh my gosh, actually, that's so interesting. Playing towards the ending heartbeat, but ending is ending of a stale, maybe, perspective. That's
I
very
like that.
cool.
Mhm.
If that's
Yeah,
what you meant. Either way, it's cool, but I was like, oh my god.
I mean, I think
Poetic.
I think it's a bit of both, honestly. I think he doesn't ever really bother himself with thoughts about if he's going to die or not. I mean, he knows he's going to at some point. Everything does, but I don't think it's a question of
Joke on you, I'm gonna live forever.
Sure, fair. You're allowed to, I guess. But I don't think for Yesaya it's a question of am I going to survive this or not? It's does am I in a position where everything needs me to survive? And I think he's hitting a point where he's recognizing that maybe that's not always the case anymore. And it's something he's always been concerned about, maybe even afraid of, but I think now that it's finally time to face it, he's welcoming it.
I'd like to talk about something, but it's a bit heavy. It has to do with men aging. So let me know. Feel free to tap if it's too much. But I am an expert in dementia care and Alzheimer's and caring for people in hospice and sunset years. I've done that for about 8 years.
God bless you.
Switched career to be a cartoonist, but it was a lot. So one thing that's interesting that I'm feeling about what Yasei is going through in his in-character journey is it's so common, and I've seen so often as men are in their sunset and die. They die more quickly when their wives die, and also when they no longer feel they can be useful because they give up, because they've been socialized to think that their value is in being used or like being a protector or provider. And the men that I've known who have been the most content and have lived the longest and are really aging with grace, it's not just spite that keeps people alive for a long time. I've met plenty of those too, but like it's been men that were able to reconcile society's perception of their worth in time. So anyway, when you said to say his character, I was just like, oh shit, he's going the way that so many men I've seen die have, which is the idea. It's almost like I'm actually thinking of a specific individual in this case who really impacted me when he died, but I could see that he was looking for a reason to mentally let it go. And yeah, and he found some, and that was like, yeah. So anyway, it's interesting. That's Yasei is giving me a lot to think about as somebody who hospital and end of life care and stuff is very important to me. It's like, oh shit. I know he's a fictional pale because he's a wolf and stuff, but he is old. And that perspective you're sharing, I'm just like, oh, so fucking true sometimes. Like some stuff is universal, whether you're a werewolf or genuinely like an old man. Like that, oh, my heart.
Well, thank you for sharing
Whatever
that.
way it goes, but
yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. Honestly,
thank
All of the
you.
characters
That's
are
a
so
huge
grounded
depth
in
of
reality.
character.
Uh-huh.
Literally, Foxy. Like I was like,
oh,
like, yes, Yasei is strong and he's hot and he's all these things, but he also genuinely is like, it's hard when you get older. It's hard
Yeah.
when you're socialized as a man in the city. Yeah, shit's hard.
yeah,
Shows up weirdly. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god, you guys! Some characters are characters, and then some characters are people. And I have to say, your characters are people. Like they're like real. You know what I mean?
you.
Like if I met
I
them, I would be
agree.
like, these are
Well,
individuals containing
That's the-
multitudes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is one of the
Right,
nicest
you
things
know?
anybody said to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Aw,
That's
thank you.
that's supposed to be how we do this thing, right? We bring
Yeah.
bits of ourselves to this, and we get to create stories that I think matter a lot more because of it. You know, that's the Neon Lights mission statement, as it were.
And it worked. So before I let you all go, I just for our audience, I'll say when I wanted to run this game, I think I approached Foxy first and was like, "Hey, I want to run the game." And Foxy was like, "Yep, let's do it. Let's make it happen." And I put out an open call to people to play. So all of these people, I think, except for Rainy and Foxy, but I'm pretty sure the majority of you haven't played in a large group together like this before.
No.
It could have gone hilariously. It could have been a lot more. It could have been intense in a not good
Been
way,
messy.
but you all clicked. There was the intensity of episode
Oh,
for
man.
sure, but like,
Mhm.
yeah, but you've really hit a stride and been fantastic. There's
Yeah.
good chemistry between all of you, which is awesome. So,
Yeah.
which, by the way,
Yeah.
speaks to the healthiness of the community, which I'm pretty sure people can
Absolutely.
just come join. Foxy, can you tell us about Neon Light?
Yo,
Can we share about
I
it? This
can
seems
sure. I mean, I can do this stuff real quick. So, Neon Lights
do it.
Roleplay is an inclusive and welcoming community of like-minded minds who all enjoy tabletop role-playing games and make a habit of coming together around the idea of telling stories for people around people that matter. We prioritize marginalized voices of any walk of life, and we believe that if you come and tell a story with us, your goal is to tell something that matters that you can walk away from feeling like it meant something to you. Uh, it's super easy to join us. There's a Discord you can hang out with right there. There's a link popping up right over there. Otherwise, we have all kinds of other socials. You can hang out with us on Twitter at Neon Lights Our Play. Also, check out our YouTube. We have a whole library of VOD of the campaigns we've done. We've done at this point more than double-digit campaigns across various systems. We played some D&D, some Lancer, some Pathfinder, some Fate, some other variants of games that are nonsense. We played some Armor Aster. We have all kinds of other games that are happening out there that we love playing. We have plenty of more to come. We grow our player base based on people in our community who we think put out the right vibes. So please come hang out with us, come join us, come play games with us, come tell stories with us, and we would love to have you and look forward to seeing you. That's the pitch I got, and it's been fun doing that. 2023 has been a wild year of personal change and personal growth for so many of us and for us as a community. But I am looking to the future of Neon Lights with so much excitement and with so much hope. And I think the people who you see around you on the screen and the people who make this all possible are a part of the reason why I am so excited for what we have to come. So please come hang out with us and see what we have coming, because I think it'll be a fucking ride, and I'd love to have you along for it. That's all I got.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Foxy. Sorry
Yeah.
for springing that on you, but I was like, oh my gosh.
Listen, I always got one in the chamber. All right, don't worry about it. I'm always loaded up.
Yeah, you were ready. Oh, good, good, good. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, wait, does anybody else have anything before we do outros?
Sorry, you broke up. Did you say do we want to do outro? Oh,
Oh.
before we do outros. No.
Before we do outros, any other? No? Okay. All right, fabulous. In that case, let's go ahead and go in reverse order for fun, starting with Mikey. Who are you? What you do?
Hello, my name's Mikey Fatum. Sometimes I go by Mike too. I am a lot of things, but I am the host of 3 different podcasts. The first one is the Ace of Geeks podcast. That one comes out every other week and is 4 best friends who each bring a piece of nerdy media we watched or listened to or whatever to the table and describe why we liked it or didn't like it, and then we make them fight to the death for the Ace of Geeks of the Week award winner. Very soon I will have a rant about Rebel Moon, which you probably don't want to miss. The other 2 are Yavin Radio, an improvised Star Wars podcast that it's basically like Hello from the Magic Tavern or Lower Decks, but with Star Wars. If you like comedy and sci-fi stuff, I think you will really enjoy it. And finally, our own TTRPG podcast, Edge of Reality, which we have 2 seasons out right now. The first is Kids on Brooms, so if you want magic schools without transphobia, that's there for you. The second one is great broom, Foxy, love it. The second one is Candlekeep, where 4 kids win a scholarship program to go to Candlekeep and things go horribly wrong. Finally, the League of Swords is kicking and going this year. This is my combination of professional wrestling and sword fights. Oh, excellent, good form. With a sci-fi story on the top. If you head to leagueofswords.com right now, you can get to our YouTube channel from there and see the show we did in October. We will be doing another one in March. So if you want to watch battles between immortal samurai and video game bosses and a whole bunch of other things, please come and check us out at leagueofswords.com. Also, you can find me on Twitter at VeggiesGod, Blue Sky at VeggiesGod, Instagram at Broken Infinity Films, and I think that's it. That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Mikey, you are such a creator. I love it.
I always feel
Alright.
so bad because it's so long.
No,
Don't feel
it's
bad.
gorgeous. It's gorgeous. All right, moving along to Rainy.
Hi. So I am Rainy. I occasionally do art streams and game streams when I can on my own personal channel here on Twitch at Rainy Keys. Outside of that, though, you can just find me here. That's it. I don't exist anywhere else. They let me build the gremlin nest like in one of the corners, and it's by law you can't let me leave now.
Where the ants are getting
Like
you
an
from? I have
endangered
been trying to
species.
find an exterminator
Yeah.
for so long.
We found a Rainy in the wild. Isn't she a beaut? Sorry, that was bad.
You can find me on
Oh,
you can
God,
find me
sorry.
on Twitter at Rainy Keys, Blue Sky at Rainy Keys, and Instagram at rainykeys.art. Catch me out somewhere else, I guess, but I will always be here.
Beautiful. All right, Foxy.
Hi, friends. It's Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest, and I'm all over the internet doing Young Foxy things in Young Foxy places, mostly right here on Neon Lights Roleplay. I haven't plugged shows in so long, man. So, a couple things that I do that are pretty important for you guys, possibly. First off, I run a Wrath and Glory mystery series. In the deep darkness of the 42nd millennium, I party of adventurers explore a planet that is under a Necron tomb world and also maybe has an Alpha Legion problem. I mean, what? Regardless, there's a lot of things going on around that show. Secondly than that, you also might occasionally find me running a little program called Stardust Ghost. It is my mecha magnum opus, a story of fascism, war, betrayal, rebellion, redemption, love, and everything beyond life and death itself, where 5 soldiers, 5 ghosts try to become human, or perhaps, if they want to save the world, maybe something even better. Outside of that, there are all kinds of little things that I run on the channel of mine, and even more things to come, things that I can't really announce right now, so don't worry about it, but you'll see me in all kinds of shows doing all kinds of things, all kinds of people, including ones who are around you on your screen right now. More importantly than me, check out Neon Lights Roleplay on the internet. We're at Neon Lights Rplay on Twitter, Neon Lights Roleplay anywhere you can find us. It's been awesome. I've been Foxy. You've been wonderful. Good night.
Wonderful. All right. And second to last but not least, Kellen.
All right, hello again. I'm Kellen, also known as Sonar Fade. You can find me on most forms of social media at that handle as well, and Sonar Fade Art at Twitch. The end of this year has been kind of a crapshoot, so I don't have a lot of a lot of stuff going on right now. But hopefully, when the new year rolls around, I'll be able to get a little bit more involved in community stuff on Neon Lights a little bit more, and possibly on Twitch. And yeah, I'll just be bouncing around for a little bit until then.
I have plans for you. Don't you worry.
Ooh, okay.
Also, if you see that wonderful art of Percy, by the way, Kellen did that. Kellen did all the art for all of our characters of this game. Please
And
find
put it on
Kellen on
screen,
Spotify,
Put it
where
on
you
screen
find their
again.
art. You need
He
to.
used to put it on screen. I'm putting it on screen again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah!
You will look at it.
Look at
I don't
this
remember
beautiful art.
Also,
don't-
Kellen does
I-
amazing monster art. They post sketches of the monsters we have faced in game on their socials. So please go support
Okay.
them. Please.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
I need to get back in the habit of posting more art. So hopefully I'll be able to start doing that again soon. So
Oh
thank
god,
you
I forgot
guys.
how hot Yaz is. He just
I know,
came-
right?
Oh,
Don't
God.
see his ego. Good grief. It's
Stop,
gray
please.
sweatpants.
I mean, hey, to be fair, Foxy described Yas as almost entirely shirtless at all times with just gray sweatpants on. So
Because it's the
thank Foxy.
greatest invention of human
So-
invention.
Sweatpants
for
are
real.
the greatest things white men have ever come up with in Isaiah's mind. They get one good thing. That's it. They
One
get
good thing.
praised for nothing else.
Yeah, that sounds about right with us.
That's fair.
Also, can we appreciate the fact
Perfect.
that Kellen did the plaid so fucking well on all of the flannel that showed up?
It's
Like,
true, it's true, it's true.
I cheated.
It's well
It's an
done.
overlay.
don't care. You did good
Brilliant.
art.
So
Thank you.
smart. Yes.
Hey, Al, you want to plug stuff?
I would love to.
Yeah.
So, all of my wonderful players, go follow them. Your life will be greatly improved. My name is Al Lucart. I am a sci-fi fan tabletop RPGs, and I will post a link to my link tree with all the socials I'm on. I am most active on TikTok right now, and I'm preparing for Emerald City Comic Con 2024. So if you're in the Pacific Northwest, show the heck up and support me. And yeah, we'll be back in, I guess, 2 weeks for more werewolf shenanigans. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
Woo!
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Oh, bye.
Well.